Thank you. I would love to have hair that colour.
Bit of voice level, please, Angela.
Okay, I'm really pleased to see that David's joined the Angela Rayner Appreciation Society tonight with us.
Good evening. Welcome to Have I Got News for You? I'm David Tennant. In the news this week, in Westminster, the government denies that its pledge to build 300,000 new homes is slightly behind schedule. In Lapland, a group of disappointed children found out why they've all been given 3-volume biographies of Karl Marx. And on her first day working at a Christmas tree farm in Scotland, there's evidence one intern still has a lot to learn. On Ian's team tonight is a comedian who recently made a film about his quest to find the UK's largest Scotch egg. Not quite up there with The Last Jedi, but a noble effort. Please welcome Joe Wilkinson. And with Paul tonight is Labour's Shadow Education Secretary, who admits that she's done pretty well for a ginger kid with no qualifications who grew up on an estate. Yeah, almost as well as Prince Harry. Please welcome Angela Rayner MP. We start with the bigger stories of the week. Ian and Joe, take a look at this.
That was Prime Minister at time of going out. That's David Davis trying to negotiate a step. Right, and this is subtle negotiations. Oh, yeah, she's amused too. That's one of the rebels. This is Brexit again.
Yes.
There was a rebellion, and Mrs May lost, and David Davis made some admissions. The one I liked was that you don't have to be clever to do his job. We'd noticed.
He's thick, isn't he? He is, isn't he?
Easy.
Well, he's not my first choice.
There you go.
Did he not? Then nor was Jeremy, was he? Just saying.
Wasn't there scrapping as well? Didn't the cabinet start fighting each other this week, apparently?
Oh, do tell.
Wow. Apparently there was quite the fight on, and Theresa May had to split up some of her cabinet
literally
colleagues.
physically wade in and go, leave it here.
Is that Theresa May? Is she here? Is she here? I heard her voice. Is she here?
That's her real voice. She just puts on that vicar's daughter thing.
Absolutely.
What were the Tory rebels after?
They were after Parliament having a final vote on Brexit.
Yes.
On the idea that the referendum was in taking back control, so the Parliament was meant to make the laws.
Even for Brexit, this is dull, isn't it?
It's about taking back control. And previously, we'd taken back control of our country and given it to 10 people in Northern Ireland. We're now giving it back to Parliament. To you.
Yes.
What happened? Was it thrilling?
Well, it felt brilliant. I've been there 2.5 years, and it's the first time I'd seen them looking absolutely miserable, so it felt fantastic. If I'm honest. I like democracy.
Is it good when you're winning? I know it's new, but...
The amendment itself is relatively non-partisan, but how did the Daily Mail describe the 11 Tory rebels?
The headline said, proud of yourself.
It did.
As though they were the headmaster and they'd just found some children smoking.
This was the front page you were referring to.
That's the worst team West Ham have ever put out.
What did Tory MP Nadine Dorris think of the rebels in her party?
Well, she got quite nasty, didn't she? They were very vicious. I
did
think
she
she was
say?
calling for deselections, apparently.
She was
Trying to
furious.
deselect people, she'll join Momentum next.
She tweeted, "They should be deselected and never allowed to stand as a Tory MP ever again." Which is interesting, because Nadine herself has rebelled against her party 47 times.
Didn't Nadine go in the forest as well? Did she? She went in I'm a Celebrity, didn't she?
She did, didn't she?
Is it a forest? I thought it was
Well,
a jungle.
yeah. A bit green.
If you're a B-list celebrity, you go into the forest. If you're an A-list, it's the jungle. If you're C-list, it's a thicket.
And what did the rebels do to further incense their Eurosceptic colleagues?
Oh, they sang the EU national anthem as they danced through the lobby.
Oh, I missed that.
I made that bit up. I'm just trying.
Well, according to the Telegraph, they took to the Pugin room in the Commons and drank a bottle of white wine.
Scandal.
What,
Decadence.
one bottle between 11 of them?
It's austerity.
Work hard, play hard. And all this, of course, just when Theresa May thought she'd got away with her Irish fudge.
Indeed.
But what did David Davis do to upset the Europeans?
He woke up.
He said it wasn't necessarily binding.
Yes.
You might as well have, after everything it said, just winked. Of course we're going to pay 39 billion.
If David Davis was, for instance, coming at you with a samurai sword, how would you repel him?
I'd just say, is that a sword? And he'd go, ooh, I don't know.
I'll probably ask him how it got in my house. Can't be that thick. We've got double locks.
Is this some sort of citizenship test?
David Davis has an Achilles heel that we should all be aware of. It's orange juice, apparently.
Ah.
He says, "It's poison to me. It's my kryptonite." Which must be why, according to the Times, the EU negotiators always put it on the table when he turns up for meetings. Angela, do you think there'll come a time when Jeremy Corbyn will say anything about what he thinks about Brexit?
Jeremy's been absolutely clear of our Brexit position.
Has he, though?
Yeah.
What is it, then? Spell it out for us.
We want a strong economy with good jobs. That's what
Yes.
everybody wants
No, that's
for
an
Brexit.
aspiration. That's not a policy.
We want to be closely aligned to the single market and the customs union.
Do you want to be in them?
We've not said we wanted to be in them
I
necessarily.
know what you've not said.
I think we've been absolutely clear.
you?
Absolutely clear. In fact, we've been that clear that Theresa May is now actually doing what Keir had said all along.
I love it when people say, I'm being absolutely clear. Because you know what's coming.
Why do some commentators think that Theresa May will survive this?
Because nobody else wants the job. It's too miserable. And she has got an incredible skill at just taking the blows. She's one of those people, or they smash her head in, cut her arms off. She goes, yes, I'm getting on with the job. And I hit her. Yeah, I'm getting on, walking along here. Doesn't matter, you blow her up, piano falls on her head. I mean, it's a skill, isn't it?
Ian, it's what women do. We just get on with it.
Oh, right. 51% clap.
Was that your last medical?
Can I swap teams?
According to the Times, Theresa May's weakness has united the government. Tories freely admit that they have been more disciplined than they might otherwise have been because Jeremy Corbyn is ahead in the polls. Talking of polls, Theresa May did top one this week. Does anyone know what that was?
Person least likely to be Prime Minister.
It was the best modern Christmas cracker joke.
Fantastic.
You want to hear the joke?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah? She didn't write it, by the way.
No.
It was written by a bloke called Samuel Williams, and it's this.
Yeah.
Why was Theresa May sacked as nativity manager? She couldn't run a stable government. No.
Well, yeah, but what's a nativity manager? That's not a job, is
Well,
it?
exactly. That's where the joke falls down. It's a bit... I think what Samuel has done is he started with stable government and tried desperately to make it work and then fucked it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think we've seen before somewhere. Did you see what Theresa May took a fancy to in Maidenhead this week?
No.
It was a sparkly shoe on a Christmas tree. Look at that.
Oh, yes.
There she is. Grabbing it. While she was browsing, she got stared out by an artificial reindeer. Maybe she'd like one of these. Jerry Christmas.
I got a Jeremy Corbyn annual. You got to cut out Jeremy Mask and, you know, and a fact finder, Diane Abbott and Theresa May and things like that. It's very interesting.
A Diane Abbott fact finder. How many days are there in Christmas? Is it the 12? Or is it 80 billion? No, Jerry Christmas to all.
Jerry Christmas,
Jerry
a magical
Christmas.
bearded old man who all the children believe in.
Who makes your dreams come true?
Nice. Finally, what has Michael Gove said yes to?
Leadership?
No. He wouldn't be so bold.
A trip to Dignitas?
Beavers. Michael Gove says yes to beavers. It's all part of the government's caring charm offensive to try and wing back young voters. The Forest of Dean is the test region to see if they can improve biodiversity. I wonder what effect a family of beavers will have on the ancient and vulnerable forest. Anyway, this is Theresa May's Commons defeat over the European Withdrawal Bill. David Davis has compared the cabinet negotiations over Brexit to a game of multi-dimensional chess. And thanks to Damien Green, they're now wondering whether to make a pawn sacrifice. According to The Sun, Boris Johnson claimed a £50 billion divorce settlement is not a vast sum. At which point his wife shrieked with delight and called her lawyer. Asked what the requirements of his job in negotiating Brussels are, David Davis said, "I don't have to be very clever. I don't have to know that much. I just have to be calm. So why not replace him with a scented candle?" Paul and Angela, take a look at this.
Are you a man looking for a telescope, then trusting his own eye? Ah, yes, this is the object that's coming into our solar system. It looks like that. I don't know what those people are. Yeah, it is this thing. It's about 400 metres long and 40 metres wide, and it's come from outside of our solar system. We're looking at it to see if it's sending out any radio signals. They've got a machine that can pick up a signal that's as little as a mobile phone signal. But seeing as people often can't get signals on their mobile phone, how are they going to pick one up from that? I don't know. They're potentially very excited about it.
Stephen Hawking said it could be the real thing.
Yeah.
Could have aliens in it.
It could.
I hope there are aliens, because it'd be nice to make a few new friends, wouldn't it?
Yeah, especially around Christmas time.
Yeah, we need one more for badminton next week.
Yeah.
It is exciting news. The first ever object to reach us from outside our solar system might just be an alien spaceship.
Yes, wouldn't it be great?
Yeah.
Apparently number 10 said take me to your leader, so it went to Belfast.
I mean, it's a good job we got you here. Is there anything in your travels? Does it look familiar to you in any sense or shape or form? Have you ever seen anything like that before that you can remember?
It looks like something off Blue Planet, and David Attenborough's going to say something any
Yes,
time now.
sperm whale, yeah.
Winter comes to space.
Is David Attenborough here? Is he here?
It's incredible. He's with Theresa May. Is he? Leave it out, David.
Looks like a giant space jobby.
The Turdis.
Dr. Pooh?
Close Encounters of the Turd Kind.
I really want to think of one.
I'm holding them all in.
That's not healthy. But it is the wrong shape to be an astronaut. It is the wrong.
Astronaut?
Yes. It is the wrong shape.
How did you get through that script? It's an astronaut, Dr. Sonic.
It's also the wrong shape to be an asteroid.
Ah.
And researchers have pointed out a cigar or needle shape is the most likely architecture for an interstellar spacecraft, since this would minimise friction and damage from interstellar gas and dust.
Yeah.
Any other tales that it's a spaceship? Any other telltale signs?
It's in space.
That's the very thing they're looking for. Very thing.
Yes.
Got to be clever to do her job.
It may also be made of metal. I mean, it might also be made of cheese. And it's very clean.
House proud aliens.
Someone gone up to it and gone, yeah, it's not.
Yeah. It was named in Hawaii. Its official name is A2017UI. Do you know what sexier name the scientists have given it?
Pretty much anything.
It begins with an O and there's a couple of M's in it, but I
Yes.
don't know how it's pronounced.
Oumuamua.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Actually, I'll take it back.
Oumuamua, which loosely means a messenger that reaches out from the distant past. Second choice of name was apparently Rees-Mogg. I'm getting an update.
Yes, oh yeah.
Turns out it is actually an alien spaceship, and they're all laughing at our mashed potato. So,
That's a joke trapped in time.
that lady really liked it.
Yeah. That was a great ad.
Apparently, Oumuamua doesn't seem to have engines or show signs of propulsion. But Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb cheerfully, yet scarily, explains that away. He said Oumuamua might just be coasting. Perhaps the aliens have a mothership that travels fast and releases baby spacecraft that freely fall into planetary systems on a reconnaissance mission.
Yes.
Did he get his degree online?
Joe, who did you ask to speak to when you landed?
I said, take me to Alton Towers. Cracking little rides, they aren't they? And I had a TGI Friday, and that's why I decided to stay. If you don't believe I'm an alien, I'll show you my green feet.
Sure.
Okay, I might have pushed my hand a little too far.
Can anyone tell me the name of the very large telescope that was used to confirm Oumuamua wasn't a comet?
Oh, it's something like Green Bank or something like that.
Jodrell Bank.
No.
No.
Was green in the name?
It's called the Very Large Telescope. Come on, scientists, up your game. What is Donald Trump planning to do in space soon?
He says he's going to send men back to the moon and then from there jump onto Mars. That's the
Yeah.
next thing to do, to go from the moon to Mars.
He announced this week he wants to send astronauts back to the moon for the first time since 1972. He said the goal of the new mission to the moon would include long-term exploration and use of its surface. He's going to open a golf course, isn't he? He does, of course, have a notoriously short attention span, Donald Trump. How did they keep him interested as he signed the directive to send astronauts back to the moon?
Bag of Lego.
Surprisingly close. Yeah, they gave him a toy astronaut to play with. Look at this. Look at his little face! Look at it!
You can see him going to insanity and beyond.
That fella's telling him not to eat it. Don't put it in your mouth. Keep it out your mouth. Dirty boy.
What did we learn about Trump's daily routine this week?
I think he has 12 Diet Cokes a day, is what they're
Indeed,
saying at
yes.
the moment.
He drinks 12 cans of Diet Coke daily. Coca-Cola have been quick to react, offering Trump a multi-million-dollar deal to start drinking Pepsi instead. This is the strange object that recently entered our solar system that some people think could be an alien spacecraft. According to The Times, as the craft swings by the Earth, it's travelling at 55 miles per second. The only thing that can stop that is a light dusting of snow. The object is called Oumuamua and comes from the old Hawaiian phrase for two actors meeting at the Ivy. Oh, Oumuamua. This week, Donald Trump has announced plans to go to the moon, leading 500,000 angry clangers to sign a petition. And the Republicans lost a seat in the Senate this week when the voters of Alabama rejected Roy Moore, a right-wing, homophobic, evangelical child molester. He's so vile, even Putin didn't want to help.
In America, on CNN, they say alleged child molester, but you go for it.
Come and get me, Roy.
I wouldn't say that.
I know.
His horse is called Sassy.
Yeah.
I just didn't think that would be the name of his horse. Riding about like that.
On to round two, the picture spin quiz. Fingers on buzzers, teams.
I think this is about man flu.
Yes. What's been discovered this week?
It doesn't exist. Oh, really?
But it does exist,
It very much-
men
yes.
do suffer it worse than they
Do we?
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Well,
There's a tendency to impersonate Mother Teresa. I'm not saying it's one of her best looks, but that's...
this is the news. The phenomenon known as man flu has been proven by science, or at least by one male scientist. Dr. Kyle Sue from the Memorial University in Newfoundland says that man flu can be traced back to our caveman days, when lying on the couch, not getting out of bed, or receiving assistance with activities of daily living could also be evolutionary behaviours that protect against predators.
Thank you wouldn't hurt.
How does Dr. Sue suggest we should respond to these findings?
Greater understanding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perhaps now is the time for male-friendly spaces, equipped with enormous televisions and reclining chairs to be set up. He's a doctor, it must be true. Where men can recover from the debilitating effects of man flu in safety and comfort.
A lot of women would say the world is a male-friendly space.
But why should we take Dr. Sue's study with a little pinch of salt?
Is he not a proper doctor?
He is a proper doctor, and it's a genuine piece of research. But it turns out that the British Medical Journal likes to have a little bit of fun in December.
Oh, do they?
And although the article is based on real findings, the arguments are perhaps a little tongue-in-cheek. With that in mind, who's responsible for destroying the NHS?
Jeremy Hunt?
No, that is a fact.
Oh, yeah.
According to Dr. Catherine Bell, a GP, it is scourge of the public services, Peppa Pig.
Oh, yes, I saw this.
What's Peppa been doing wrong?
Well, the doctor in Peppa Pig is really nice, and gives you 25 minutes and organises tests and doesn't say, I'm short of time. And people have got unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
So they go
Exactly.
along expecting there to be a pig, literally, as the
Yeah.
doctor.
Well, Dr. Bell has published an article arguing that exposure to Peppa Pig and its portrayal of general practice raises patient expectation and encourages inappropriate use of primary care services.
Yeah, but I've seen an episode of Thomas the Tank Engine where Thomas has got a nasty rash and he doesn't go to the doctor and his crankshaft falls off. So, who are you going to believe?
My
sorry.
3-year-old watched Peppa Pig and was constantly ringing the doctors asking for an appointment.
Do you know what's the name? Do you remember the name of the doctor in Peppa Pig?
I don't remember.
Is
the
it
name.
Dr. Locum?
Dr. Brown Bear.
But is that a bear?
Well, no, it's a drawing.
Anyone uses a cucumber for a phone should not be trusted.
Dr. Bell takes issue with Dr. Brown Bear's clinically inappropriate home visits. In Pedro's Cough, a 3-year-old pony coughs 3 times while attending playgroup. What does Dr. Brown Bear do?
He says, you're just a little horse. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Dr. Brown Bear makes an urgent visit to the playgroup in a green light car with sirens. The Daily Telegraph referred to one example where Dr. Brown Bear makes an urgent home visit to Peppa Pig, who has a facial rash, presumably a classic case of pork scratching. What was Dr. Brown Bear's response to these allegations? Unfortunately, according to the BMJ, Dr. Brown Bear is unable to comment pending the outcome of a fitness to practice investigation. Criticising the role of Dr. Brown Bear in Peppa Pig, the author of the report says, could this depiction be contributing to unrealistic expectations of primary care? Who gives a shit? It just shuts the kids up for 5 minutes. Time now for the odd one out round. Ian and Joe, your 4 are Lembit Opik, the cast of Cats the Musical, the Vienna Chamber Orchestra, and Pharaoh Samtik III.
She's balancing quite nicely on him, isn't she? Takes some doing. I'm thinking cats, because I know that Lembit got bit on the penis by a sausage dog, didn't
Yes, you're heading in the right direction.
Did he really?
he? Oh, yeah.
You know a lot of interesting stuff.
Yeah. You Google the right stuff, you'll find it. So that's all I've got.
Well, everything's about cats except Lembit that's about dogs.
Try it the other way around.
Everything, as I said, is about dogs except one of them's about cats.
That's right. Which one might it be?
It's not important.
Well, Lembit, then. He's the odd one out 'cause he was bitten by a dog on his penis.
I didn't bite him, a dog did.
No, dogs are the common theme.
That's what I said the first time.
Cats are the...
Cats is the odd one out.
No,
That's about
yeah.
cats, and the
That's
other
what
3
I said
about
the first
dogs.
time.
Yeah.
I've got a headache.
No, not that. It's about cats, but cats isn't the odd one out.
What's happening?
Can we go back in time?
Go back in time.
Yes.
And that might give you a clue to which the odd one out is.
The Pharaoh.
There we go, we got there. They've all been interrupted by dogs, apart from Pharaoh Samtik III, who was interrupted by cats. In what was called the Battle of Pelusium in 525 BC, the Egyptian armies were marching out towards the Persians when the invading army deployed their secret weapon, cats. The Egyptians saw cats as a sacred animal, were
Yeah.
too scared to attack the enemy, and
Yeah.
ended up losing the battle.
Fantastic.
Not a question you would normally expect in a topical news quiz. I suppose we've only just translated the hieroglyphics, have we?
How did a dog upstage the Vienna Chamber Orchestra in a recent performance?
It conducted the entire works of Johann Strauss.
No, bark, surely. Gotta be bark.
a little more pedestrian. Let's have a look.
Lovely.
Labradors are known attention seekers. Have a look at what one did to try and get on the news in Texas earlier this year.
As far as the rest of the area, oh my God, come see. Look at that dog. That is so great.
Surely that's the same dog on his way to Vienna.
You know, he actually looks annoyed like they're filming him.
According to the Mail, a Broadway performance of Cats was halted when an overexcited dog in the audience broke free from his owner and charged towards Bombal Arena during the opening number. Tragically, the dog was quickly brought under control and the performance could continue. Witnesses described the dog as looking like a cross between a Shih Tzu and a pug before realising that was Andrew Lloyd Webber. Paul and Angela, your four are Jeremy Corbyn, Blendo the robot, Vince Cable, and former UK Scrabble champion Alan Simmons.
Now, the only Scrabble story in recent times is a guy that was accused of cheating. Is it this
Yes,
guy? Oh,
yes.
okay. So it's something to do in Scrabble. There's a method where you have to put your hand into the bag in a certain way and show there's nothing in it, but he's been sort of doing it in perhaps a more surreptitious way. So that's him. Well, Vince Cable is certainly the odd one out there because he's the only one that's fronting the advert for Cadbury's milk tray. Blendo the robot was... I mean, how can a robot be cheated? There was four little men inside it.
Perhaps the makers were cheating in the war. He's from Robot Wars, is he?
Blendo the robot is from BattleBots.
No, you better give us the answer.
They've all been excluded from competitions for being too good.
Oh.
Apart from UK Scrabble champion Alan Simmons, who has been banned from competitive Scrabble after allegedly cheating. How did Alan react to his ban?
He was lost for words.
No, he was a bit defensive. He said, "You have to remember that at the top level, games can be quite intense, and there's a lot going through one's mind, let alone remembering to religiously ensure tile drawing rules are followed meticulously."
Absolutely.
So yes, what was Blendo the robot excluded from?
From the American version of Robot Wars.
Yes, indeed. Twice in the 1990s he was excluded on two separate occasions. Blender was so good at destroying the other robots that pieces of its opponents would be thrown over the arena walls and into the audience. Blender has since found a job more suited to its abilities, overseeing the MP reselection process for the Labour Party. Vince Cable is too good at writing sex scenes.
Oh, yes.
He didn't win the Bad Sex Award.
Yes, he did. So good is his new novel, Open Arms, it was excluded from the 2017 Bad Sex and Fiction Award. This is an extract from The Destroyer by this year's winner, Christopher Bolan. She covers her breasts with her swimsuit. The rest of her remains so delectably exposed. The skin along her arms and shoulders are different shades of tan, like water stains in a bathtub. So far, poetic, a little quirky. It can't go very wrong from there.
No.
Her face and vagina are competing for my attention, so I glance down at the billiard rack of my penis and ball.
Does he chalk it up? That is dreadful.
Lovely.
I need to write that down.
What competition was Jeremy Corbyn excluded from this year after winning it for the 7th time in 2016?
Was it Beard of the Year?
Yes, the coveted title of Parliamentary Beard of the Year, organised by Keith Flett of the Beard Liberation Front. Now, Christmas is coming up. Angela, I think you know about this. What do you get the most dedicated Corbynista as a present?
The annual.
Yes, The 100% unofficial Jeremy Corbyn 2018 annual, of course. Look at this. There it is.
Looks like you'd find it in a telephone box.
What kind of fun games are on the inside, do you think?
Do not want to know.
Pin the beard on the Jeremy. Where you can cut out and stick a range of new beard styles on Jezza, including the hipster, the Hagrid, and the Llewellyn Bowen. Ian, have you ever considered going for the Corbyn?
No.
Well, we've considered it for you. Here you are with a Corbyn.
I don't take this the wrong way, but you look like Wayne Rooney.
What's happened there?
How can I not take that the wrong way?
And we have to be even-handed, so Angela, here you are. And Joe, there didn't seem much point giving you his beard, so here's him with yours.
Jesus Christ.
Paul, here you are. Here you are as Jezza, Paul. Paul, I've been noticing your lovely cravat.
That's a Christmas cravat, isn't it?
Yes, it is, actually, yes. If there's any fans of Just a Minute here, on BBC Radio 4 Christmas Day, there's a special programme where we've managed to take various people like Kenneth Williams and Peter Cook that's done it, and then Derek Nimmer and Peter Jones, and put them all together in one show, so it sounds like we're all there together to celebrate 50 years. Oh. And that's why I've been wearing a cravat for this series, to celebrate 50 years of Just a Minute, and also to take the piss out of Nicholas Parsons.
We thought the look you were going for was this.
Mm. I'm very happy with that.
Time now for the Missing Words round, which this week features as its guest publication, It's a Rat's World. Remember, you're never more than 6 feet away from a copy. We start with, man accidentally what in a microwave?
Cooked his own dinner.
Man accidentally cements his head in a microwave. This is the news that a YouTube prankster who cemented his head into a microwave has sadly been rescued. Next, what is a great trick to teach lazier rats as it requires relatively little energy or athleticism?
Impersonating David Davis during European discussions. Falling over.
The spin is a great trick to teach lazier rats. This is how to train your rat to spin around in a circle on command. According to the article, you will need some treats, a training area, and a rat. And ideally a huge gap in your life. Next, you can tell someone hates the gift you bought if what?
They nail it to your front door.
If they say, oh, that's lovely, you shouldn't have.
If they throw you down a well.
Ian, you're nearly right. You can tell someone hates the gift you bought if they open it and say, thanks, it's lovely.
Yeah.
According to Braun, the list of fake polite responses include the phrases, it's lovely, this is really useful, you shouldn't have, I love it. And thank you for that marketing survey, Braun. It's lovely, it's really useful, you shouldn't have, and I love it. Next, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge what?
Well, no, it can't be as easy as it sounds. Are just some of the things I feed me rat at Christmas. I'll say in a pear tree, just in case it is a real double bluff. And it is that.
Slightly less pleasantly, it's all going extinct. Oh. On the plus side, pear trees still in the game.
Yeah.
Next, what looks like your gran?
Her reflection?
A prune.
But you're a gran, aren't you?
I am. A new gran.
You don't look like a prune.
No.
It's because I'm not your ordinary gran.
I don't think any gran is ordinary.
Hoping for a nice Christmas present this year. Sepp Blatter.
You're getting close. The statue of Maradona looks like your gran. A new statue of the legendary footballer was unveiled this week, but not everyone was impressed with the likeness. Let's have a look. And with that, the final scores are Paul and Angela have 4, but the winners are Ian and Joe with 5. Before we go, there's just time for the caption competition.
The Lords resist reform.
On which note, we say thank you to our panellists, Ian Hislop and Joe Wilkinson, Paul Merton and Angela Rayner. And I leave you with news that in Northumberland, evidence emerges fame and fortune have not been kind to Billy Elliot. At the World Swimming Championships in Helsinki, there's another sporting drug scandal as one competitor tests positive for helium. And at a secret laboratory in Westminster, the smile lessons continue. Good night.
Ian, Paul and a variety of guest hosts and panellists will be here on Friday at 9 for Have I Got 2017 news for you.
We're going to do the David Essex one.
The David Essex?
Paul, I've noticed you've been wearing a cravat for the entire
Oh, don't
series.
indulge
Have you
him.
been going right, yeah.
It's the golden rule of comedy. If it doesn't work the first time, it's certainly going to work the second.
Paul, I've been noticing your lovely cravat.
Yes,
you've
thank
been
you very
wearing
much.
all
It's
evening.
based on David Essex. Have you got a photo that backs up my opinion?
No.
Oh, there it is, look.